Welcome to this tutorial on working with JSON in PowerShell. JSON, which stands for JavaScript Object Notation, is one of the most important data formats you'll encounter when working with modern APIs, web services, and configuration files. In this video, we'll explore two essential PowerShell cmdlets, ConvertFrom-Json and ConvertTo-Json. These commands allow you to parse JSON data into PowerShell objects and convert PowerShell objects back into JSON format. By the end of this tutorial, you'll understand how to effectively work with JSON data in your PowerShell scripts. JSON, or JavaScript Object Notation, is a lightweight text-based format designed for exchanging data between systems. Despite its name containing JavaScript, JSON is completely language independent, meaning it can be used with any programming language, including PowerShell. JSON is human-readable, which makes it easy to understand and debug. It has become the standard format for APIs and web services because of its simplicity and efficiency. JSON structures data using key-value pairs, arrays, and nested objects, making it flexible enough to represent complex data while remaining fast to parse and generate. Let's look at a typical JSON structure. JSON uses curly braces to define objects and square brackets for arrays. In this example, we have a person object with several properties. The name property contains a string value. The age property holds a number. The active property is a Boolean value, either true or false. The roles property is an array containing multiple string values. Finally, the address property is a nested object with its own properties like city and zip code. Notice how JSON uses colons to separate keys from values and commas to separate different properties. This hierarchical structure makes JSON perfect for representing complex data relationships. The ConvertFrom-Json cmdlet is your tool for parsing JSON strings and converting them into PowerShell objects. When you receive JSON data from an API or read it from a file, it comes as plain text. ConvertFrom-Json takes that text and transforms it into a PS custom object that PowerShell can work with. Once converted, you can access the data using familiar dot notation, just like any other PowerShell object. This cmdlet works seamlessly with the PowerShell pipeline, allowing you to pass JSON data directly from other commands. This makes it incredibly powerful for automation and data processing tasks. Here's a practical example of using ConvertFrom-Json. First, we create a variable called JSON string that contains our JSON data as a text string. Notice the JSON is enclosed in single quotes to treat it as a literal string. Next, we pipe this JSON string to the ConvertFrom-Json cmdlet, which parses it and stores the resulting object in a variable called object. Now that we have a PowerShell object, we can easily access its properties. Using $object.name returns Alice, and $object.age returns 28. This demonstrates how ConvertFrom-Json transforms static text into dynamic, accessible data. ConvertTo-Json works in the opposite direction. It takes PowerShell objects and serializes them into JSON format. This is essential when you need to send data to REST APIs, save configuration settings, or share data with other systems that expect JSON. The cmdlet converts your PowerShell objects, including custom objects, hash tables, and arrays, into properly formatted JSON strings. One important parameter is depth, which controls how many levels of nested objects get converted. By default, PowerShell only goes 2 levels deep, but you can increase this for complex data structures. Once converted, your JSON is ready to be sent over the network or saved to a file. Let's see ConvertTo-Json in action. We start by creating a PS custom object using a hash table. This object represents a user with 3 properties: name set to Bob, department set to it, and years of service set to 5. We store this object in a variable called user. Then, we pipe the user object to ConvertTo-Json, which converts it into a JSON string and stores it in the JSON variable. The resulting JSON will be properly formatted with the property names as keys and their values appropriately typed. This JSON string can now be sent to an API, saved to a file, or transmitted to any system that expects JSON format. Let's explore the most common scenarios where you'll use these JSON cmdlets. First, REST APIs. Modern web APIs almost exclusively use JSON for both requests and responses. You'll use ConvertFrom-Json to parse API responses and ConvertTo-Json to prepare data for API requests. Second, configuration files. Many applications store settings in JSON format. You can read these files, parse them with ConvertFrom-Json, modify the values, and write them back using ConvertTo-Json. Third, data storage. When you need to save PowerShell objects to disk for later use, JSON provides a human-readable format. Finally, integration. JSON serves as a universal language for exchanging data between different systems, platforms, and programming languages. Mastering these cmdlets opens up countless automation possibilities.
If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Visit codelucky.com for more such useful content.